The problem that was created in San Diego and so many other communities was a political problem that the Trump administration intentionally created, ending the safe release program and essentially just dumping asylum seekers on the street in a cruel and inhumane way. I spent an entire year in the Horn of Africa region on the Somali border. I spent time in Yemen. I spent time in the Sunni Triangle region of Iraq. And I've seen firsthand the conditions that lead to individuals who become refugees and asylum seekers. The agony and heartbreak that you feel when you see what people go through in that environment, I think has definitely shaped me towards being an outspoken advocate for our immigrant community, our refugee community, and our asylum seekers. On my very first day as a supervisor, we heard the idea to actually take a county facility. It was an old family courthouse that was slated for demolition and make it an asylum seeker center. Our efforts to try and help asylum seekers in particular were met with fierce resistance. One of my colleagues who on the dais, as we were debating this issue, said, well, we ought to take care of our own. And I had to come back and point out and say, when asylum seekers come to America, they are our own. I would go down there frequently and to watch someone who has traveled hundreds or thousands of miles through the most impossibly hard conditions. And then they cross the border and they follow the legal process for asylum seekers. And they get taken in detention where they're not fed, they're not cared for, they're not clothed, they're not told anything. They get on a bus, they have no idea where they're going. And then they would show up at our facility and the first thing they saw was all of these banners and signs, hand-drawn and hand-painted, that said, "We love you." To be greeted by someone speaking their native language to say, "You are safe and you are welcome." And then to be able to be provided a medical screening, a warm shower, to get a place to sleep, to get a wonderfully well-prepared meal, and to just watch the tears stream down their face when they walked into a place that wasn't going to be cold and sterile and hostile, was going to be wonderful. That made everything we had to go through to get that done worth it. And then we began the process of connecting them with their sponsor and their family member and arranging their transportation. I just played a small part in passing the policy to get the buildings and the funding. But I really think that the real heroes is that rapid response network in San Diego. And they just needed some help and support. That's what's supposed to happen when you have people in need. Your government works together with your faith community, works together with your nonprofit community, and everyone shoulders their share of the load and doing the right thing. And I think I occupy a unique position as a white man, as a combat veteran of the United States Marine Corps. And there are some communities and some folks who will listen to me, who might not listen to someone else, and perhaps will change a few of their minds. It is the federal government's job to process asylum seekers and handle that in a humane and dignified way. And my hope now is that the Biden administration will return to an era of compassion and dignity in running and administering these programs. We have the ability to fulfill the promise of America and fulfill our obligation as humans to one another to provide a safe, compassionate immigration system. We're on the right side of history on this issue. We're on the right side of morality on this issue. And I don't think we should shy away from it. And I hope that what we did in San Diego can serve as an inspiration and a motivation to other communities out there to know that there is a better way to embrace and welcome those who are coming from such difficult situations.